Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're really getting into something essential for anyone in trucking, especially if you're just starting out. We're navigating the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration rules, FMCSA.
That's right.
And look, this isn't just about paperwork. It's fundamental for success. Avoiding big problems.
Serious problems. We're talking heavy fines, maybe failing your audit, or even getting shut down.
Exactly. But the good news, and this is key, is that most common mistakes, they're completely avoidable if you just know what you're looking for.
And that's our mission today, really. We want to walk you through the top 10 FMCSA mistakes we see new trucking companies make. But more than just listing them, we'll dig into why they happen and, most importantly, how you can steer clear.
Sort of a shortcut to getting informed.
Think of it like that, a strategic shortcut. We've got some surprising facts and definitely practical solutions lined up. It should save you a lot of headache down the road.
All right, let's jump in. Let's unpack this. First up, Driver Qualification Files, DQFs. Sounds simple, right? Collect the documents. But what's the real trip hazard here for new carriers? Is it just forgetting something?
That's a great starting point. Forgetting something is definitely part of it. You know, the CDL, med card, driving history, the application, background checks, all that needs to be there for every driver, including yourself if you drive. But the deeper issue, the one that catches people in audits, isn't just the initial collection. It's the ongoing management.
Ongoing? What do you mean?
I mean, like having a system to track when medical certs expire or when you need to run a new MVR, the annual stuff. Auditors look for current validity, not just proof you collected it once. That lack of a review process is a huge red flag.
Okay. So it's about continuous upkeep, not just a one-and-done checklist at hiring.
Precisely. Active, continuous management.
So how do you stay on top of that, practically speaking?
Well, first, make a really clear checklist for every single driver file. Standardize it. Second, use technology. Digital files are a lifesaver. Seriously. Lots of systems even have reminders for expiration dates.
That's useful.
Yeah. And third, just old-fashioned discipline. Set a recurring reminder, maybe monthly, just to scan through your files, look for anything coming due. Don't let things lapse.
Makes sense. Build the habit early. Okay, building on that. Driver readiness. Let's talk mistake number 2. No DOT-approved drug and alcohol testing program. This is a big one.
Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Right.
Required before anyone gets behind the wheel.
Absolutely non-negotiable. And the immediate hit. You'll fail your new entrance safety audit flat out. No proof of enrollment, no test results. You're done right there.
Ouch. But is the mistake just not having it? Or are there pitfalls in setting it up too?
Good question. It's often in the setup. Many new folks don't realize they must join a certified drug and alcohol testing consortium before a CDL driver operates their truck. They might try to, figure it out later or do tests ad hoc. That doesn't work.
So you can't just find a lab and do a pre-employment test.
Nope. You need that formal consortium enrollment, and you need the whole program. Pre-employment, yes, but also random testing, post-accident, return to duty. The whole package. Without that, you're basically operating illegally from day one.
Okay, so the fix is clear. Get formally enrolled from the get-go.
Exactly. Join a certified consortium, understand and run all the required tests. And, just like the DQFs, keep meticulous records. Put everything in the driver's file. It shows you're serious.
Consistency again. It seems like documentation is a running theme here. Which brings us nicely to number 3. Just generally poor record keeping and disorganized documents. We're talking logs, maintenance, trip sheets, inspections. It's a mountain of paper or digital files. Why do new carriers stumble here so often?
I think part of it is just overwhelm. It is a lot, but the critical thing to understand is why it matters to an auditor. Auditors operate on proof. If you can't show them a record, a maintenance log, an inspection report, they can't give you credit for it. It doesn't matter if you did it.
No proof, no credit.
Exactly. And messy, disorganized files, that just screams non-compliance. It signals a lack of control, and honestly, it makes them dig deeper.
Okay, so it's about having verifiable proof presented clearly, not just being tidy for tidiness' sake.
Right. It's tangible evidence of compliance.
So practical steps to wrangle the paperwork beast.
Technology can really help here. Trucking compliance software or even just well-organized cloud storage can make a huge difference. Many have templates built in.
What about for folks sticking with paper for now?
Then it's about discipline, clear labels. Organize files logically by driver, by vehicle, logs, permits, maintenance. Make it easy to find things. And here's a pro tip. Do your own mini file audit every month. Just spend an hour. Catch small issues before they become big audit problems.
I like that. Proactive self-auditing. Okay, let's move from the office to the yard. Mistake number 4. Skipping vehicle maintenance and inspections. Your trucks need daily checks, proper upkeep. We know this, but sometimes things get overlooked. How bad is skipping this, really?
It can be immediately bad, like getting pulled over and put out of service right there on the roadside. Lost time, lost money, frustrated driver. But the damage goes deeper than just that one incident.
Oh, so.
Neglected maintenance or failing to document it hammers your CSA score. That's your public safety record.
Compliance, safety, accountability.
Right. Yeah. And brokers, shippers, insurers, they look at those scores. A poor score because you skipped oil changes or didn't log brake jobs, that can cost you contracts. It signals risk. It hurts your reputation long term.
Wow. Okay, so it's not just about avoiding roadside issues. It's about protecting your business's overall health and reputation.
Absolutely. It's proof you run a safe operation.
So, the fix.
Yeah.
What's the non-negotiable routine?
Daily diligence. Embed it in your culture.
Yeah.
Pre-trip and post-trip inspections. Every truck. Every day. Document them. Keep a detailed log of every repair, every service, everything.
And if a driver finds something on the pre-trip,
Fix it immediately. Don't delay. Don't let a driver take out a truck with a known defect, even a small one. That's how minor issues become major violations, or worse, accidents.
got it. Fix it now. Okay, number 5. Ignoring hours of service rules. HOS, the FMCSA has strict limits to prevent tired driving. Makes sense? But with ELDs, electronic logging devices, isn't compliance kind of automatic now? Do people still mess this up?
That's a really common and dangerous assumption. Yes, ELDs automate the logging, which helps tremendously. But the device itself doesn't prevent violations if the driver doesn't understand the rules or how to manage their clock properly.
So the tech doesn't replace understanding.
Not at all. We still see issues stemming from drivers not fully grasping, say, the 30-minute break rule or split sleeper berth provisions, or just pushing their limits because they don't really get how much time they have left legally. The ELD records the violation. It doesn't prevent the bad decision-making that leads to it. And incorrect logging, even with an ELD, or clear patterns of pushing the limits. Big red flags in an audit or roadside check. It's still about training and understanding.
Okay, so the ELD is a tool, not the whole solution. What are the key steps then?
First, obviously, use an ELD if you're required to. That's table stakes. Second, comprehensive training. Really drill down on the HOS rules with your drivers. And keep them updated. Rules do change.
Like the recent sleeper berth adjustment.
Exactly. And third, actively review the logs. Don't just let the ELD data sit there. Look for patterns, potential issues, errors. Talk to your drivers about what you see. Proactive management is crucial.
Makes sense. Training and review. Okay, moving on to number 6. This involves more acronyms. Failing to register for UCR, IFTR, IRP. This applies if you're crossing state lines, right? Can you quickly break down what these are and why missing them is bad news?
Sure. UCR is the Unified Carrier Registration. It helps fund safety programs. Pretty straightforward fee based on fleet size. IFTA is the International Fuel Tax Agreement. This is super important. It lets you file one fuel tax return for all the states you operate in, simplifying things immensely. Without it, you'd need permits for each state.
A nightmare.
Total nightmare. And IRP is the International Registration Plan. That's for your vehicle registration, your license plate. It allows your truck to operate legally across state lines with just one apportioned plate.
So they streamline things, but only if you're signed up.
Exactly. And the consequences for missing them, they can be immediate and severe. Big fines, yes, but also potentially getting your truck impounded or ordered off the road until you comply. Imagine that happening mid-load.
Crippling. So the fix is pretty direct here.
Very direct. First, figure out which ones apply to your operation. If you cross state lines, likely all 3. Second, register before you haul any freight interstate. Don't wait. And third, keep proof of registration in every truck. Cab cards, decals, whatever's required. Drivers need to be able to show it.
Simple, but critical. Got it. Number 7, not having the right insurance coverage. Another big one. There are minimums, right? Like $750,000 liability, sometimes $1 million or more.
Correct. Usually $750K for general freight, often $1 million is standard, and potentially more for hazmat or specific cargo.
And the mistake isn't just being underinsured, it's potentially having no proper insurance. What happens then? Is it just a fine?
Oh, it's way, way worse than a fine. If FMCSA finds you're operating without the required insurance, they can revoke your operating authority.
Meaning?
Meaning you are shut down immediately. Your DOT number becomes inactive. You cannot legally operate your business, period. It's an existential threat. They view it as an unacceptable risk to the public.
Wow. Okay, that definitely puts it in perspective. It's non-negotiable for survival.
Absolutely.
So, best way to handle insurance. Don't just grab the cheapest policy online.
Please don't. Work with an insurance agent who specializes in trucking. They understand the specific risks, the filings needed, like BMC 91X, the different types of coverage beyond liability, like cargo and physical damage.
Makes sense. They know the territory.
They do. Make sure your policies meet or ideally exceed the FMCSA minimums. And keep your certificate of insurance handy, easily accessible. Digital copies are great, but have paper backups too.
Good advice. All right, pitfall number 8. Hiring unqualified or disqualified drivers. Seems obvious, hire good drivers. But where do companies slip up? What counts as unqualified in the FMCSA's eyes?
Well, the slip-up is often in the thoroughness of the check. It's not just about confirming they have a CDL. Unqualified could mean their license is actually suspended or revoked, or they don't have the right endorsements, or their medical certificate has expired. Disqualified is even more serious. Maybe they failed a drug test or have certain serious traffic convictions.
And hiring someone like that
is a major DOT violation. It demonstrates a serious failure in your safety management controls. If an auditor finds you knowingly put a disqualified driver behind the wheel, the penalties will be severe. It puts everyone at risk.
So due diligence is paramount. What does that look like, step by step?
Rigorous steps. First, verify the CDL status directly with the issuing state. Don't just trust the plastic card. Run a motor vehicle report, MVR, before hiring and then annually after that. Look at their driving history. Keep copies of current medical cards and proof of negative pre-employment drug tests right there in their driver qualification file. And don't forget to check their employment history for the past 3 years and run background checks as required, like querying the Drug and Alcohol Clearinghouse.
A clearinghouse, right. That's mandatory now.
Mandatory. It's about building a complete picture and ensuring they are legally and medically fit to drive your truck.
Okay, thorough checks. Number 9, not understanding the FMCSA audit process itself. You mentioned the new entrant safety audit. Happens within the first 12 months, usually. It sounds intimidating. What's the one thing you wish new carriers knew about it?
I wish they knew it's not designed to be a gotcha moment. It's really a review of your safety management systems. They tell you what they're going to look for.
So it's not a pop quiz.
Not at all. It's scheduled. The biggest mistake isn't failing to memorize some obscure rule. It's simply not being prepared. Showing up with messy files, missing documents, no clear processes. That's what leads to a failed audit and potential suspension of your operating authority.
So it's about demonstrating you have your systems in place.
Exactly. They want to see that you understand the requirements, the DQFs, the drug testing, the HOS, the maintenance, all the things we've been talking about, and that you have organized records to prove you're following them consistently. It's your first big test of operational fitness.
So how do you prepare effectively? What are the strategies?
It's pretty straightforward, actually. First, go to the FMCSA website. Download their new entrant safety audit guide and checklist. It literally tells you what they'll review. Second, start organizing from day one. Don't wait for the audit letter. Keep those files clean and complete as you go. And third, if you're nervous, consider getting help. Hire a compliance consultant for a few hours or do a mock audit yourself or with a peer. Identify your weak spots before the real auditor shows up.
Preparation turns fear into a manageable process. I like that. Okay, last one on our list, number 10. Failing to stay updated on FMCSA rules. Things change, right? Regulations evolve. What was okay last year might not be this year. How big of a deal is just not keeping up?
It's a bigger deal than many think. Because, as the saying goes, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Right.
But beyond just risking violations because you didn't know about a rule change, you're also potentially missing out. Maybe there's a new exemption that could help you or a change in HOS that impacts your scheduling. Staying current isn't just about avoiding penalties. It's about staying efficient, competitive, and, well, agile. In trucking, things change fast. You need to adapt. Operating on outdated information puts you at a disadvantage and silently builds risk.
Operational agility, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
So, in a busy world, how do you realistically stay on top of rule changes?
Couple of key things. 1, sign up for the official FMCSA email updates. Go straight to the source. 2, follow reputable trucking news sources or DOT compliance consultants online. They often break down complex changes into understandable terms. And 3, very important, when a rule does change, train your staff. Your drivers, your dispatchers, whoever is impacted, make sure everyone is on the same page. Education is your best ongoing defense.
Great actionable advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've walked through these 10 common but avoidable mistakes, from DQFs right through to staying updated. Let's try and bring this all together. Why does getting this right matter so much? Beyond just passing an audit or avoiding a fine, what's the bigger picture?
That's the perfect question to wrap up on, because at the end of the day, avoiding these mistakes isn't just about compliance paperwork. It's about building a solid foundation for your business. It's fundamentally about safety, keeping your drivers safe, keeping the public safe. That has to be number one.
Absolutely.
It's about protecting your investment, your trucks, your trailers, your authority. It's a huge financial commitment. Compliance protects it. It's about building trust. Your customers, the brokers you work with, they need to know you're reliable, professional, and, yes, compliant. It affects your reputation and your ability to get good loads.
Builds credibility.
Exactly. And ultimately, all of this together ensures your business can actually survive and thrive for the long haul. Taking compliance seriously from day one, that's how you build a safe, successful, and sustainable trucking company. It's about integrity.
That really sums it up well. A foundation of integrity. We really hope this deep dive has shone a light on these common areas and given you, our listener, a clearer path forward. Getting this right can save you literally thousands of dollars in fines, not to mention hours and hours of stress. So, maybe a final thought to leave you with. How might really embracing this idea of proactive, continuous learning about regulations actually become your ultimate competitive edge in this tough industry?
And look, if listening to all this feels a bit overwhelming, especially if you're new, please know you're definitely not alone. It is complex. Many successful carriers felt exactly the same way starting out. Don't ever hesitate to ask for help.
Good point.
Reach out to compliance consultants. Join a state or national trucking association. They offer incredible resources and support. Sometimes just getting the right advice at the right moment can make all the difference. It's truly invaluable.